Our houses pretty much look the same and stay the same 11 months out of the year, which I think explains why women get so into holiday decorating. It's a creative expression and a way to make your space match the feeling of the season, right? Distinct and special. And for some, it goes beyond ornaments and garland. Instead of just deck the halls, it's deck the walls. Holiday art is that extra layer, another way to add the magical and meaningful mood in your home this time of year. We asked Curator Emi Dalton to show us some of her very favorite possibilities in this genre. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Rick. It's great to be here.
You say holiday art can bring meaning, but also joy to a space.
Yes, I feel like when I look at a painting that is beautiful and meaningful, that it takes me places, it transports. And sometimes that can be taking us to our grandmother's house, like over the river and through the woods, that type of an experience. And this is a painting right here that for me, when I look at it, it reminds me of that heritage home, or of my grandmothers and those that have gone before us.
I love that, the story behind what we're seeing. Yeah. And some of these, I mean, for a lot of people, it could be a seasonal swap, but my parents have a beautiful painting in a prominent place in their home of the Nativity that stays up year round. And I love the idea of incorporating these themes that we're going to talk about into the home all the time.
Yes, those things that are in your heart can be part of your home and can be the symbols that help to unify your family, that bring you together, that you discuss and talk about and say, this is why we have this specific piece in our home. It's because, and often I'll have clients come to my home where I run my business, and they'll bring their children. And their children will say, oh, Mom, this is meaningful to me because. So if I look at this painting right here, Brooke and I were just talking about how we hiked as a family growing up. And when my baby brother was born, we found a tree that was the same size as him. And then as we continued to hike to the same place behind our home in the mountains, as the tree grew, my brother grew. So this painting reminds me of the chatty tree. And then of course it's evergreen. And so, we think about the trees that we bring into our homes at Christmas and how those represent those things that are everlasting.
Yes. Oh, your stories and your words are always so good. I mean, these paintings, I think, descriptive, illustrative of the idea that we can spruce up our winter days. We can find joy in pieces that speak to us and tell that story. You also say holiday art specifically, is a great opportunity to focus on our loved ones, both past and present.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's the winter scenes that we don't necessarily want to bring inside our home. We don't want the snow, we don't want the cold, but we can have those reminders of what's happening outside of our homes on our walls. And then that heritage, whether it's remembering your Swedish grandmother, as this painting reminds me, that's a vintage Ukrainian painting, or whether it's thinking of those loved ones that we wish we could gather with and be together with, but who are not with us at this time. We're thinking of angels in our lives that are part of our lives and that are so present and so important and critical. So we've got some angel paintings here that are by Utah artist Heather Graham. They have gold leaf as part of the painting and the art, which makes them sparkle, which is, all that sparkle is so fun at Christmas time.
Absolutely.
And these are small investments, they're small paintings, and so they are the kind that you can put on a shelf and then make more prominent at Christmas time. Put in your entryway, for example, or switch out, but they can also remain part of your decor all year round.
I love that you brought some smaller pieces. I think we underestimate what kind of a punch they can pack in terms of that meaning and that vibe that we want to portray in our homes this time of year.
Yes.
And as we look around our homes, Emi, I mean, we see the ornaments, we see the trees, we see the lights. Holiday art is a way we can see Christ in our home at Christmas, which I know so many women in particular are anxious to have their families focus on that true meaning of the season. Art can help us keep our mind frame there.
Yeah, we can forget so easily when we're thinking about decorating and gifts that the true meaning of the season is in the life of Christ and in the sacrifice. And I love symbols. There's so many symbols of Christ, whether it's, like we said, the evergreen, or whether it's angels, or whether it's those things that are heavenly. But there's also we've got some paintings here that are lambs. One that's by a Springville artist named, whose last name is Rawl. We've got a couple of paintings here. This one is by Carrie Hammond. And then a painting here by Ellie Wilson that includes sheep as well, but it's the Annunciation to the shepherds of Christ's birth. Just beautiful reminders of of Christmas, but also something that you can have out in your home year-round, but that's particularly meaningful at Easter as well.
It's so ironic we're talking about this. I pulled through the dry cleaning line on the way into the studio this morning, and in front of me there was an SUV, and it had a little lamb sticker on the back of the window. And I thought maybe they have kids. I didn't know if there was some angel baby reference. I didn't know. But as I got closer, there was the word him right in the center of the lamb. And you talk about those symbols. They can stop you in your tracks and be that pause, that shift or that reframe to help us center where we want to be.
Yeah, and if you have 3 members of your household, and these little 3 sheep can represent that, or they can represent the other powers of 3 that are in our lives. So
I love it. Finally, we touched on this, but it can help us celebrate the spirit of Christmas, the meaning of Christmas. Holiday art can help us celebrate that year-round.
Right, and there are so many incredible artists that paint depictions of Christ. And I love to see the variety. I love to see that some paint with bold strokes, some paint with fine detail. You have some Christ figures that look like us, some look more like the Israeli or heritage of the Middle East. And so I love these different depictions. We've got a few. This one right here is by a Ukrainian artist. We've got one right here that is by Kirk Richards. That's the Miracle.
The color in that.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
The lack of detail is so beautiful, but it's the depiction of the story of the wedding at Canaan, where the water was turned to wine.
Yes.
We've got some by Jen Tolman that are here. She's another Utah artist that's just incredible. I love the different varieties and the creativity that comes out when we work with local artists or artists that we can benefit throughout the world, especially as we think about the war in the Ukraine and in Russia right now, and how we can benefit and bless those that are suffering.
I love this topic, and again, I love seeing art through your lens, helping us expand and connect that to our personal stories and our personal lives. And I think of the money that I may spend or invest in my Christmas stash. I can't think of a better investment than this. Where can we see more of the pieces you've curated?
Something lasting, right?
Absolutely.
Those gifts that are treasures forever.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of opportunities. I'm on Instagram at Emi Co. It's EMI, and then also there will be a holiday art show that I'll be announcing on that Instagram on December 9th. That's local here in Utah.
Okay.
And a website that's forthcoming, but I'm happy to receive emails through Instagram or direct messages and to help people find things that are meaningful. It's the consultative process that's so meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much fun to help clients find a treasure that makes them feel joy and brings that meaning in.
You're very good at it. You're good at what you do. So thank you so much for lending your expertise and your passion to us. We'll link you to her website from ours.